Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 45, aka the fake
fake
real
real.
Michael Jordan episode. I'll explain in a second. How's it going, Jack?
Remember last week when I said the NFL was drunk?
Yes.
Let me reiterate this: the NFL is drunk. Oh my god, this has been these 2 weeks have been the most insane weeks of football. I don't know who's good anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know
neither
who's
do
bad.
I.
I don't know who's good. It's just, oh my goodness, it's been crazy.
Yeah. So I'll follow you there. 30 of 32 teams have had a double-digit loss so far this season. The only two teams that haven't, the Bills and the Vikings. But fast learners will say, the Bills lost to Jacksonville. Yep, that's a bad loss. The Vikings lost to Cooper Rush. Yes, that's a bad loss. So I think the only team in the NFL that doesn't have a puke your eyes out loss is New England. And even they lost to Miami week 1 in a screwy way and lost by 2 possessions to the Saints, even though one of the scores was a pick six. So, whatever. But what a weird week of NFL action. I think 5 top 15-ish teams got absolutely pounded. Baltimore got killed. Rams got killed. Vegas got killed. Tampa got killed. Just Seattle with Russ.
Seattle's borderline, I'd say top 15, but they
didn't play like it.
No, they didn't play like it at all. I mean, the Packers didn't. I kind of call that a slightly ugly win, because the only reason why I would, though, is because that one was just. It felt like for a long time neither team wanted to win that game. By halftime, it was 3-0. That's far and away the lowest scoring half of the season. It's chaos. It's chaos.
Yeah, it was just a weird week of football. And if you wanted the Michael Jordan thing, he wore 45 for a chunk of his career because the Bulls retired 23 after his first retirement. Then he comes back in 95 and he had to wear 45. This is when he gets stripped by Nick Anderson in the moment that people forget about. This is when he dropped 55 at Madison Square Garden. He also wore 12, which is the real MJ. The fake MJ is 23. The real fake MJ is 45. But the real MJ, deep down, it's that one half of basketball that he wore 12. So with that said, let's get into some hot takes.
Let's do it.
We have some spicy ones this week. We're vibing everywhere. Exciting times. Not too many hot takes this week. Usually we go a little overboard with it, but today we're just chilling. Today we are chilling. We are vibing. Today's going to be a good day.
I'm kind of hiding behind my mic a little bit, but
yeah. All right, let's vibing today. Boom. Here we are. Hot take numero uno.
It's this one.
Oh,
it's this one. Is it the same one? Actually, did they come with the same thing?
No,
I heard his name, but I agree, and I'll explain that later.
Okay. Oh, I said told him. So this is from Taylor.
Told him.
Told him for Devontae carrying the Birds to the playoffs. So first of all, I took the opportunity to say Devontae Freeman for the Ravens, but he's of course talking about Devontae Smith, star rookie wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. How do you feel about the Eagles' playoff chances right now?
What is their record? That's my first question.
They are 4-5. Are they 3-6?
Let me see. NFC East, they are 4-6, so they're second. Okay. The general assumption around the NFC East is that only one of those teams is going to make the playoffs, and this year the Cowboys are 7-2. The Eagles are 4-6. I mean, if they string together a couple of good wins, you never know.
Yeah, I'll read off their schedule.
Wins obviously help.
They have the Saints next week at home.
That's a loss.
At Giants. I don't know about. We will circle back to that. At Giants.
They're going to beat the Giants, I think.
They've never lost to the Jets. The Eagles have quite literally never lost to the Jets. Bye week. Washington comes to town. Giants come to town. At Washington after New Year's, and then they end with the Cowboys.
It's a lot of divisional games to end the season with.
That's true.
A couple of those are actually pretty winnable.
I think there's a lot of wins there. There's a universe that the Eagles host Dallas, and they're 10-6, and they've rattled off 7 wins in a row, and 8 of 9.
It's a tough call, but I think it's possible.
I think they. I don't think they're better than the Saints, but I do. I forget who made this point. It was either PFF or Marcus Whitman. I think the Saints are on such a thin line with Trevor Siemian that he has to play darn near perfectly for them to be competitive. And I'm a Siemian hater, but the last 2 weeks he has been darn near fabulous. He has probably played better than Jameis Winston has, but a little bit less of a workload, if that makes sense. It'd be like, say, in the Rams offense, Stafford has to do more. So if he looks bad, it looks even worse. But if Goff looks bad, then you can kind of cover up some warts because you're going to run the ball more. But Trevor Siemian has been a good quarterback for 2 weeks. The Saints have still lost because there's you muff a kick, right? Or you have a terrible roughing the passer call against you. I could see the Eagles at 10-6 hosting the Cowboys. And if the Cowboys have already clinched the division, which could be the case, and they've locked in their playoff seed, the Eagles could end 11-6 and face like a Cooper Rush Cowboys team. Like, I don't love the Eagles, but they did just take it to Denver. And what's the next team that's better than Denver? I don't think the Saints are that much better than Denver. I don't trust Siemian, but I don't think the Giants are that much better than Denver. I don't think the Jets aren't. I don't think Washington is. The Giants aren't. Are the Eagles a good enough team to win 6 in a row? Probably not, but
no.
I don't know. Gun to your head, how many wins do the Eagles finish with?
I'm gonna go 8. I think they go 8 and 9.
I'm gonna push it to 9. I think they're gonna be right in the thick of the playoffs. If they beat the Saints, that's a huge
boost if they beat the Saints.
Yeah, huge step.
Where do we put it on the hot take meter? I'm gonna go.
Okay,
with Scotch Bonnet, I think.
I'm gonna go habanero. They did beat Carolina. That's one thing.
They did.
They beat Carolina, so they hold the tiebreaker there. They beat the Falcons, had tiebreaker there, and they can beat the Saints. So you're likely gonna have a win over 3 of your biggest competitors. They don't play Minnesota. They don't play Seattle. They don't play. They did play San Francisco. They lost that game, but I don't know. I think the Eagles can start on a little hot streak here and start winning. Do I trust them to beat the Giants or Washington twice? No, but I do think they're a better team than those teams are. So who knows? I think that's the most we've talked about the Eagles all in 45 episodes.
Jeez, poor Eagles.
Yeah. All right. This is from Heisman_Ritter. He says, Dolphins aren't out of the playoff race.
The Dolphins, what are they?
They are
3-7. If you want to see the Dolphins in the playoffs, they've got to win out. And I don't think they can do it.
Okay, I'll go through their schedule. They have Jets.
Win.
At Jets. Panthers. Giants.
Oh, they lose that if Cam plays, if he starts, which it looks like he's going to.
That's a whole wrench into things. Because Cam had the 2 nice plays for Carolina the other day, but
we have to see him as a starter, I think, first.
Yeah, I agree. So the Jets the second time after a bye week, at Saints, at Titans, Patriots. Ooh, that's an ugly way to end the season. I want to be optimistic, and they've just, of course, smacked the Ravens. But do you think they shot all of their bullets against the Ravens? Because I think they did. I think that was kind of their.
It's like it was like the Lions against the Rams. Like they just threw everything in the kitchen sink at them and just couldn't do it. Difference here, obviously, the Dolphins got the win, but I mean, I really don't know what else they have.
So Brett Coleman made an interesting point that the Dolphins are going to have to make some serious changes to the cover 0 look if they want to run it again, because they used it so many times that Baltimore kept trying things that you're not going to notice as watching it alive, because you just think, oh, Lamar sucks and the offense sucks, which is not wrong, but you don't notice that Baltimore is trying different things to beat it. And Miami showed showed their hands. They essentially just showed the entire playbook against the Ravens. And I don't think the Jets twice, Giants, or Panthers are going to take advantage of that. But I do think Sean Payton, Mike Vrabel, and Bill Belichick are smart enough to say, hey, you're not going to be able to run that against us.
Bill Belichick is really, I said this before, he's really good at making young QBs have no idea what the hell they're doing. So,
although Tua is one of the rookies to beat him.
He is. So, this is true. This is true. But I don't know if he's going to be able to do it again. We'll see.
No.
But
so back to the hot take. Are they out of the playoffs? I'm going to say yes, because they have a brutal at Saints, at Titans, then Patriots. They should lose all 3 of those games. However, if they enter the Saints, I would not be surprised if they enter the Saints game at 7-7. That's beating the Jets.
They could start the rest of their season. Jets. They could start the rest of their season so far, like these next 2 or 3 games, looking decent. But I don't know. They've pretty much got to win out, and I don't think they're going to be able to beat the Titans and the Patriots in their last couple of games. So
yeah, I will say they have the tiebreaker over the Ravens if it comes down to it, and they have the tiebreaker over the Patriots. They control their destiny in that, so they could nab those. But I think this is a wait and see, because right now they are probably looking at 6-8 or 7-7. They're going to beat the Jets twice. That's a given. I think they're better coached than Carolina. I don't know how by much, but it depends on how Cam plays. And then the Giants, I think I trust Tua more than Daniel Jones, even though I think Jones has been better this season. That's just strange. But so Dolphins, I think they can get to 7-7, but beyond that, I think we have issues.
Yeah.
All right. We have take number 3 from Baskey. Trent Williams for MVP.
My dude is shouting out his former offensive lineman, Trent Williams,
yes,
formerly of the Washington football team.
Yes. We didn't do a hot take on the Eagle or the Dolphins one. Yeah. Dolphins not out of the playoffs. I'm gonna say Ghost Pepper. I don't think they can win 2 out of their last 3 games.
No.
Maybe the Saints, maybe the Patriots. But at that point with the Titans, I don't know if Henry's back. I hope he is, for the sake of
fingers crossed.
Watching
just
good
for the
football,
sake of entertainment, good football. So, right. Trent Williams for MVP. I thought I was crazy pushing for Cooper Kupp to win MVP, but I mean, first of all, there's no doubt in my mind he's playing fantastic football. He is one of the best, if not the best, left tackle in the game.
Yeah.
But it's really, really tough for an offensive lineman to be able to break through and be able to win MVP. I love what he's doing. Don't get me wrong. It's just, it's so hard for anyone that's not a quarterback. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and
what that award's become.
No wide receivers ever won the award. Only 2 defensive
wide receiver,
players.
No running back.
Todd
Gurley came close.
Yeah, running back hasn't been. It's been 9 years since Adrian Peterson won in 2012. It's been all quarterbacks since. There's been 2 defensive players: Lawrence Taylor in '86, Alan Page in '71. There's a kicker, Mark Mosley, 1982 strike year. But look, I do think Trent Williams is the best offensive player this season. He has not had a down game. He has not had a down quarter. At least Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuel, they've dropped issues, or all of the quarterbacks have either missed time or sucked for a couple weeks. Trent Williams has had nothing. He has been a top 5 performing left tackle every single week. As a run blocker, number 1 almost every week. As a pass blocker, he's been top 5 every week. I can't remember a time I've seen this dominant of stretch from any position. We're talking 2,000-yard rushers, Calvin Johnson, 1964 yards, the 50 touchdown seasons by quarterbacks, the crazy sack seasons. Max Crosby is on pace for 100 pressures. That never happens, and he's not even the most dominant player in his geographical region. I think I would vote for Trent Williams for MVP right now. He's not going to win it, but I would vote for Trent Williams.
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely fun to push for someone that's outside of a QB position to win it, but it's going to be really tough. I'm going to go I don't want to jump up to like Carolina Reaper, but I'm gonna go. Let's go Habanero for this one. I think there should be more possibility, but we know what the league has been like over the last like
ever
few years, like 10 years, like you said.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say I think he's correct. So the take itself is milk. I would vote for it, but he's not going to win MVP. I can't see a universe like even like Orlando Pace. I'm going to jump to college. Orlando Pace couldn't win the Heisman despite having the pancake stat introduced essentially for him. I don't think there's a way for Trent Williams to get there. So I would say Pepper X, but I agree with the take, ironically enough. All right. 2 more. We have Raya Cone. He says Baker's still booty.
Baker is a very interesting quarterback to me. I can never get a read on that guy. Like, it feels like he's so inconsistent. He's kind of like a better version of Jared Goff, if you know what I mean. Like, his development has steadily been improving, but it kind of feels like he's not breaking through and being like the guy we all know he probably could be. If you know what I mean in that regard. I'm not obviously he's better than Jared Goff. I'm just trying to
I do think there's the same flavor of the same flavor of quarterback, right? This is like Brady and Dak are like the cream of the crop here. Then you have Baker, then you have Goff. You have guys that I don't want to say are limited physically, but you don't look at them and say he's a top 5 quarterback like you do with Mahomes, Herbert, Allen, Lamar, Kyler, guys like that. You have to process the game and you kind of have to be helped out, right? So Brady was awful in 2019 with maybe not awful, but wasn't great in 2019 with a goofy supporting cast. Dak has had his moments. He's much better with Cooper, much better with Zeke, much better with Gallup and Lamb and an awesome offensive line. And then I think Baker's in that same boat. He's not as good as Dak and Brady. Let me make that very, 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 very clear. He's not as good as Dak and Brady. Dak and Brady are top 5 quarterbacks. Baker might be 15 on a good week. And then Goff is currently number 32 in my quarterback rankings. But yeah, I agree. I agree that the flavor of quarterback is similar.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going for. So where do we put this?
I wouldn't say he's booty, but he is quite volatile, which is strange. And a lot of it has been tied to Odell, for better or for worse. But without Odell, Baker was an elite quarterback. Like he was PFF grade, whatever, but he was like the number 2 graded quarterback behind Aaron Rodgers after Odell got hurt. And then you throw in the first 3 games he played without Odell this year. He was good week 1, good week 2, then awesome against the Bengals. I don't know. And he was terrible. He had one of the worst games of his career against New England. So I don't know. Is that Belichick putting him in a box, or I don't know what that is. So
I don't know.
What's your ranking?
Scotch bonnet, however you say it. Bonnet, yeah. That's kind of where I'm gonna go with this one. I don't think he's, like elite, but he's not. I don't think he's bad either. I think there's still. I don't want to say development because it's a little bit late into his career to say he's still developing, but I feel like there's just a little bit more that we haven't seen out of Baker yet. So
yeah, he certainly has to be better. And I don't think it's crazy to say, hey, Cleveland, you should draft a quarterback this year because you're paying Teller and you're paying Bitonio and you have Chubb and Hunt and Treader and Wills and Conklin. You might get rid of Conklin because he's been injured, but you have Garrett and you have this defense that the pieces, New England game notwithstanding, the pieces were coming together and they were playing really, really well. Like they shut down a great Bengals offense. At the issue is quarterback. So I think the next few weeks have to be a Baker, are you good enough to lead our team? And if the answer is no, then you draft someone with your number 15 pick, whether that's Kenny Pickett, Corral, whoever. And you say, we can skate that line thin enough and win with a rookie quarterback. Because I think you can, because that roster up there in Cleveland is really, really
That's a really good roster.
So I'm going to say Tabasco here. He has to be better. 100%.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. We have Mr. Chef Squill. Make sure to check out the Play Action podcast tomorrow afternoon. Cam Newton helps turn the Panthers offense around for a wild card spot.
So currently, the Carolina Panthers are 5-5. I think they have a tie. I want to say they have the tiebreaker over the Saints.
Yes, they do.
I don't know about the Bucs.
They play the Bucs week 16 and 18.
Jeez, those are quick. That's very quick.
Yeah, imagine. Okay, just a tangent for a second. In a couple weeks, so weeks 12, 13, 14. This is the Browns schedule. At Baltimore for Sunday night. Bye week, Baltimore. Are you kidding me? They get 3 weeks to play Baltimore twice, and we get Pittsburgh in the middle of that. At Pittsburgh.
The Rams experienced that in 2020, actually. They played the Seahawks week 17, and then they played the Cardinals. Or no, the Seahawks week 16, the Cardinals week 17. They made the playoffs, and their wild card game was against the Seahawks. So that was fun.
Kevin Cash won Manager of the Year again. That's BS.
What?
That's just wrong. I'm sorry. That it's Scott Service. That's BS. That's total BS. Okay. Okay.
Where am I going?
Anyways,
with this?
Panthers. They currently hold a 7 seed, so you don't have to be turned around. So
you know
what are you thinking?
Okay, so again, I want to see Cam Newton. I want to see Cam Newton as the full-time starter again. Because we need to see, like, what he did was fun. It added a nice little spark too, I would say, to the Panthers last week. But again, if he performs good, he doesn't have to be great. I think he just needs to be good. And there's a real chance he could help lead them to the wild card. I think it can maybe happen. I'm gonna go.
You get McCaffrey back. McCaffrey is back, and that defense. Shaq Thompson has played 7 games. 4 of his 7 games, he's been the best linebacker in the world.
Stephon Gilmore
hasn't played too much, but he's been good. He's graded out well. Brian Burns, Hassan Reddick. This is a defense that will hold you to 20 points. And if all the offense needs to do 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals, 3 touchdowns, you're golden. And I'll read off their schedule. They have Washington at Miami bye week. Falcons at Buffalo. They're getting drubbed that game. Bucs at Saints. Bucs.
Buffalo, I feel like, is the only one they really have to worry about if they play well.
Yeah, it's just kind of screwy that you look at Carolina and you think, okay, this is probably a playoff team. But then you look at their schedule and you say they could lose their last 4 games of the season and it just might not matter. The Bucs twice, the Saints in the Superdome, and at Buffalo. It's really hard not to say they're going 0-4 in that stretch. Even if they beat Washington, I think they will. Even if they beat Miami, I think they will. And even if they beat Atlanta, I think they will. Because Atlanta, we can talk about Atlanta later, but Atlanta is just not talented. At a certain point, just not talented. Matt Ryan has to play perfect ball, and he was awful against Dallas.
Yeah, I don't trust Matt Ryan enough.
Yeah, so I think this Carolina team screams that they're 8-5 heading into Buffalo, and then the wheels come off, which sucks for them. But even if they go 1-3 in those last 4 games, they make the playoffs, I think. So I will be betting on Carolina the next 3 weeks, which is a scary proposition because when I bet on them this season, they lost to Dallas, they lost to the Giants, they lost to Minnesota, and they lost to Philly. So hey, at least the Jets covered against them. So the one time I bet against the Panthers. So thanks, Jets. All right. I think that'll wrap us up for hot takes.
We got done in under 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit fat. We didn't have too many hot takes today. That's the thing. But great week today.
Not bad. Keep sending them in. We love them.
So. Love to see the hot takes. Are there any in the comment section?
Aside from Holden saying we should fire Raheem Morris, I'm gonna save it for my rant on the Rams, I think.
Okay. I don't understand the hate on OBJ when McVay made it clear he was going to be limited in this matchup.
People love to hate OBJ. People just love to hate him.
Jamal Adams is still a good safety, but all the memes. Michael Thomas, same thing. It's just memes at a certain point. Lamar is a running back. So
I think you were getting a little sensitive this morning. I don't think it's a huge deal. It's just memes.
So Nick, I lost Aaron Jones, have Antonio Gibson, Javonte Williams, Eno Benjamin, Khalil Herbert, and Ty Johnson. Need to start too. Ooh, okay. First off, fantasy show coming on at 8:30 Eastern. Check that out. You can ask them. They are the real experts here. My unexpert opinion, Javonte Williams and Herbie.
There you go. That's Splash's opinion. I'm not good at fantasy, so
I don't trust Antonio Gibson. Carolina has a great run defense. They did get eaten alive by Ezekiel Elliott, but they have a great run defense. Javonte Williams, just talent-wise, it's Williams and Herbert. Baltimore's run defense has been passable, mainly because teams are just throwing the ball for all of the yards against Baltimore. Baltimore's like last in the NFL in passing yards allowed. But I would go Javonte, who's just incredible, just doesn't get enough of an opportunity. Javonte and Herbert. But make sure you tune in 8:30 Eastern for the fantasy show. Chris and Stefan will have you covered there. And the Patriots are so back. Jack, I want you to guess where I have the Patriots in my power rankings this week.
You have them. I looked at your preliminary power rankings. I don't remember exactly where you put them.
They're higher now.
I'm gonna go 10th.
I have New England at 6th.
6th. Jeez. All right. You know what? That's not the worst take in the world, honestly.
I have them at freaking 6. I think my list was Green Bay 1, Arizona 2, Tennessee 3, Dallas or Buffalo. I forget which one I had over the other. Maybe Buffalo at 4, Dallas 5, New England 6, then Rams, Bucs, Ravens, and then the bottom 23 teams, Chiefs at 10, then the bottom 22 teams. I don't think matter at this point. So I don't know.
Who knows? Like I said, NFL's drunk.
NFL is drunk. The Patriots.
Let's just get into it.
I have one hot take. I have a hot take here. Mac Jones is pre Randy Moss, Tom Brady. Like 2001 to 2006. Brady's not setting the world on fire stats wise. He's good enough to make Pro Bowls, but that was a different era with different stats. Mac Jones is Tom Brady pre 2007.
All right.
The advanced processor, the accuracy, even the offense, I think, is very similar with how you're not asking Mac Jones to be the second coming of Jesus. You are saying, all right, Jones, we're going to give you 25 throws. You're going to hit 23 of them, and we're going to mollywop Cleveland. This Patriots offense, they scored 54 points against the Jets. I know it's the Jets. I know they've been historically bad. I have a stat for that when we get to the Jets. I know that. You don't score 54 points without something going right. Mac Jones is the thing going right. I know he's physically limited. I know he doesn't run. I know he doesn't do this, but he runs the offense. He is number 10, or maybe number 11. I moved Mahomes up. Number 11 in my quarterback rankings, not because he's athletic, not because he has a great arm, not because he's even the most accurate quarterback, but the way that he plays the quarterback position. He is a top 10 processor of the game right now. He's accurate, like I've mentioned, and he doesn't make stupid mistakes. Every one of the top 10, the Lamars of the world, the Kylers of the world, even Brady from time to time, they make these stupid back-breaking mistakes that make you just question, why are you in my top 10? Lamar Jackson, why did you have an abysmal game against Miami? Dak, why did you suck against Denver? Why couldn't you beat their coverages? Mac Jones has been super polished. I love what I've seen from Mac.
Yeah. I think he's definitely stepped up when they needed him to as well, because for one thing, it's just hard to replace Tom Brady in general. And he's pretty much, I don't think he's going, Cam Newton was never really going to be the replacement for Tom Brady. But the Patriots as a whole too, it really feels like they've gotten their crap together over the last couple of weeks, and destroying the Browns like that is no easy task. And they just walked in there and put on a clinic. It was.
So we do have some breaking news. Richard Sherman suffered a grade 2 calf strain that'll knock him out a few weeks. So
He's going to IR, I think.
yeah, at least probably
Might as
2 or
well.
3 weeks gone. If he goes on short-term IR, it would be 3 weeks. So Bucs. I think this is a natural segue into the Bucs. What happened? What happened in
What
Landover?
in the world happened to the Buccaneers? That was an atrocity.
Yeah,
Um,
I do want to give some credit to Heineke, Taylor
Heineke
Heineke.
actually showed up for once.
Yeah, he played pretty well. And that last drive was quintessential good
Oh
football.
yes, this was. Oh,
Just
let me find the details about this really quick. This was literally a record-setting drive. I think it was.
the
Uh,
longest drive of the season by plays and maybe time. I think plays definitely. Then the
definitely
Niners had one
time.
of their
I
own
feel like
last
it was
night.
time.
Over 11 minutes, 18, 19 plays, 90 plus yards,
I'm looking for the stats right
a
now.
couple fourth down conversions. It was such a well worked drive. Like the running worked, the offensive line was great. Heineke made plays, McLaurin made plays, and just exquisite from Ron Rivera and co. It just that's what you want to see in a football game. That's
This
when you have an upset. That's what you want to see. Execution
80
to
yards, 19 plays, just over 10 minutes to ice the game. It ends with a touchdown on 4th and goal from Antonio Gibson.
just ballsy, gutsy. I love it. That's how you win foot. That's how you beat the Bucs, right? That's how you beat good teams. You execute well and you take advantage of little mistakes. Brady had an ugly interception, had one that was tipped and picked, and had another one that should have been picked, but it went like off Godwin's foot and then into the hands of Kendall Fuller, and it's like that should have been picked. That, and I feel like if that was any other quarterback than Brady, it would have been picked, but who knows? Great win, Washington, and also very intelligent at the end. They were up 10, so now you go for, kick the extra point, go up 11, and then the 3D chess play is no, go for 2, go up 12, so you force Tampa to score 2 touchdowns. But the infinitesimally large D chess move is kneel. So Tampa doesn't have a chance to block your kick and take it back to the house like Denver did against New Orleans, or do a pick 2 like Eric Berry did to the Falcons. Just kneel. You go
Don't
up
give
by
him a
10.
chance.
Yeah, you don't even give him a chance. So just grade A. Ron Rivera, I have had issues with him, but awesome game.
Fantastically coached. That was awesome. Let's move on to a more interesting one. If you're reading the ticker at the bottom, you may notice it's not a typo. We had our first tie of the season, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Detroit Lions. The Lions will not go 0-17 this year because they're probably going to go 0-16-1 now.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
First off, Steelers fans, thank you for all of your trolling. For as much as Baltimore should have lost to Detroit, I don't think they should have. They outplayed them. Pittsburgh had to tie the Lions at home.
It's ugly.
Jared Goff played one of the worst games of the season.
Jared, I'm still. I don't want to say I'm a Jared Goff fan, but I'm a Jared Goff, I guess, supporter. Like I want to see him do well.
Oh, what's the word I'm looking for?
Bandwagon.
You're a Jared Goff sympathizer.
Yeah, I think that's a really good word, actually. And that was atrocious,
disgusting, ugly. Like
now,
you know
the sad thing is, I've seen him do worse. He finished this game with what, like,
80 passing
80.
yards, something like. Oh, it was really low. Like heading into overtime, I think he had like 54 passing yards. It was a catastrophe. Like,
It was
yes,
terrible.
I know the weather was bad. Yes, I know Pittsburgh has a good defense. Yeah, I get that. But an NFL quarterback asked to throw the ball 25 times should have more than 112 yards.
So in week 6 against the 49ers, of which Jared Goff was a childhood fan, by the way, Goff put up a career low 78 passing yards and took 4 sacks. I'm pretty sure he had at least a pick too.
This game was just bad.
It was terrible all the way around, though.
Shout out to Godwin Igwebuike, converted safety, had a long rushing touchdown. Huge props to him. DeAndre Swift went bonkers. But this game, by the time it got to overtime, devolved into peewee football.
Neither team wanted to win.
No,
Neither
the
team.
Steelers had 2 fumbles in Detroit territory in overtime. Pat Fryermuth right at the end of Deontay Johnson.
Literally right at the 14 seconds left in overtime, they fumble and Detroit recovers.
Yeah, because I've seen this book before. I've seen this movie. I know the ending. Chris Boswell drills a 52-yard field goal. Steelers fans come out of the woodworks and they say Boswell's the best kicker in the world. I get it. I've been there before.
Steeler football.
Yeah. Oh, I saw a meme. I'm going to pull up this meme because it was absolute perfection when I saw it. But anyways, any final thoughts before we move on? We can stay in the division because it's a full division meme here.
It's a full division.
So do you want to? Yeah. Oh man, I saw this on the
well,
app last night.
Here's my final thought. It's the first time that Jared Goff has not lost a game under a coach that isn't Sean McVay.
Good point. Yeah, that was.
I
know it was Mason Rudolph. I'm holding my stock on the Steelers. I don't think they're toast. I don't think they suck. It was just a goofy turn of events. Like super late Saturday night, Ben gets put on the COVID list. And you're like, oh, this isn't going well. No, it's not going well because you had a backup quarterback. Although Mason didn't play that poorly. I will say that.
No, I don't think he was terrible, but it just wasn't enough to win the game.
No, and my picture is not loading. I need it to... Oh, why won't you open?
We're waiting on Splash's meme.
I think this is... Do you remember when we had a series on the app that was like poorly drawn logos?
Yes, that was all me. I did that 100% of the time.
Okay. I did some poorly drawn helmets. This gives me the same vibes as those.
I remember this.
And I did a I wish I was better prepared for this. I forgot this meme existed. But I did terrible. We should do a tier maker on this at some point. But I did bad helmet design. This gives me the same vibes.
Oh my God.
Is this not perfection?
Oh, jeez. What is that? That's Baltimore, right? Yeah, it's Baltimore.
Yeah.
1 RD place. It just says Stell. God. That's...
I look at this.
I'm forever calling them the Cincinnati Bengals now. That's
like
whenever they lose.
There's so much perfection in this. Like if I were a fan, like I changed my profile picture on my Instagram to the Raven up top. There's just so much perfect in this. I think the font is Comic Sans, right?
No. Well, the top font is Comic Sans, yes.
Okay. So you have the top font is Comic Sans. You have third place. You have the Raven. You have lost to the 3-7 Dolphins. You have
didn't lose to the Lions. Yay.
Stell. You have the Browns.
Is that like that's
you have
Oh God.
I love this so much. If I were a Steelers fan, I would absolutely put Stell on my Instagram. If I was a Browns fan, this is just beautiful.
I would include the word Cincinnati Bengals in my profile pic if I was a Bengals fan. Bye week didn't lose the last game 16-41 to these guys.
Oh,
Jesus.
I thought that was that is quintessential AFC North football.
That's fantastic.
Speaking of,
deep breath. Deep breath.
Okay, I do want to point out that Baltimore probably should have won that game. There were 2 plays that went so far the wrong direction from what they were supposed to do that I know Miami won by 12. I get that. Big props to Miami for winning that game. But I will say that they got the 2 most influential plays of the game, both by Sammy Watkins. Both went so far the wrong direction that Miami benefits. This is kind of like the Ravens-Titans, the first Ravens-Titans playoff game, that every big play went to Tennessee. It's like that, but a little dampened. So, Jack, do you have any thoughts before I dive in?
Yeah, I mean, just props to Miami for figuring that one out. That was definitely not easy. It caught all of us off guard. And I know you're going to hate to hear this. Maybe you won't actually. I don't know. But that big man touchdown should have counted.
Yeah, I do. I do have a soft spot for that. I do think if something in the NFL, like the butt interception yesterday, if something is so stupid, it should count.
The double punt, that counted. I laughed until it counted. I'll say that.
So the double punt should have counted. It did. The Robert Hunt touchdown should have counted.
It should not have counted, but it did. But screw it.
What do you mean it should not? What? Okay.
Because he kicked it.
Shush. Okay, so the double punt should have counted. Thank you, NFL, for counting it. The Robert Hunt touchdown should have counted. It didn't. I think it should have counted because a man that size should not be able to move like that. I cannot move like that. I am jealous of Robert Hunt. And then third, the butt interception. If you pin the ball to any part of your body that is not your other hand, should count as a catch. I don't care if there's PI. I don't care if it's roughing. I don't care. Just count it. So, Jack, you're out of timeout.
Helmet catch?
Yeah, if you pin it on your helmet, even if you like shoved the guy in the face mask and got 10 penalties, and then you like teabagged him and got a taunting penalty, none of the penalties should count. It should, if you have a stupid catch, it should count. That is my take of the way.
That's your hot take for the week. That's your real hot take. All right, I give you permission to yell about Baltimore now.
Okay, Sammy Watkins. Former Ram, yes.
Rams legend, Sammy Watkins.
Former
played
Chiefs
1 year
legend, here. Bills legend, Clemson legend. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I wasn't expecting you to yell like that. You kind of scared me for a second.
I kind of was like, what should I do? And then go just. Okay, Lamar Jackson had the best throw perhaps of his entire career, under pressure, leaning back, full arm strength. One of the best throws I've seen in a long time. This man, Sammy Watkins, forgets he's a wide receiver. He doesn't catch the football. He doesn't even try to catch the football. I need to make sure all my things are connected because he
kind of went nuts.
Oh, my goodness. You just have hands. Okay, I have one hand. I have two hands. Boom. Sammy Watkins, this is for you, buddy. One hand, two hands. If you do that, the Ravens score on the opening drive. Miami can't run cover 0 the entire game. Are you kidding me? And then Baltimore is finally moving the ball again. They have a huge conversion. Bateman, big catch on third down. And then you throw it to Sammy Watkins, trying to get down close to the marker. If he just catches it and dives to the ground, it's probably 4th and 2. Baltimore goes for it. And he fumbles. Makes a catch on Xavier Howard. Nice catch. Then he fumbles. Sammy Watkins was targeted twice on Thursday night. First time, doesn't even try to catch the pass. Perfect throw by Lamar Jackson under pressure. Second throw, fumble. Xavier Howard scoops it up. Takes it the other way, touchdown Dolphins. Lamar didn't play well. I know that. The offensive line didn't play well from a run blocking standpoint. I know that. The running backs sucked. I know that. We had 2 coverage busts. I know that. But at the end of the day, this loss is on Sammy Watkins. That's my spiel.
There you go. Before we move on to Monday, I feel like this just slipped away from me on Twitter. There was one game I wanted to bring up. I forget which one it was. I completely forgot which one it was.
Was it the Klotz game, Jets game, Cowboys, Panthers?
Seattle, Green Bay. And then it was Chiefs, Raiders. But, oh my God. Talk about a game neither team wanted to win. I understand you got the shutout win, Green Bay. I get it. But that's an ugly win. They should not have taken forever to score more than 3 points. Yeah, I mean, that was Seattle. Obviously, they just look like a complete mess right now. I know it's Russ's first game back. I don't want to
Yeah,
call him rusty.
ha.
That's funny. But
Stefan's the one with the puns. So.
yeah, he is. I need to fill in for him
Yeah.
before he comes back.
Just
Um,
absolute disaster at Lambeau. I think Aaron Rodgers graded in the 40s, which is bad. He somehow wasn't the worst quarterback, and he somehow was better than Jordan Love was the week before. Russell Wilson had a 29.4 grade. To put that into perspective, that is where Colt McCoy was against Carolina. That's where PJ Walker is when he's had extended playing time. That's where Jacob Eason was that time that he filled in when Wentz got hurt for like 10 snaps. That's where Patrick Queen usually is, although Patrick Queen has played a lot better in recent weeks. I will say he was if he had just friggin' recovered the fumble, I think Baltimore might win that game. But regardless, I think Russ was just a disaster. I know I've been on this show and said Russ is going to win MVP. Nope, I was wrong.
yeah, we kind of see this happen. This is why I was never like banging the table for Russ with MVP, because it's kind of consistent to the way he's played throughout really a lot of his career. Like he gets hot and then something happens, whether it's an injury. This is the first time in his career he's actually missed time due to injury.
Mm-hmm.
And just something will happen though, and he just starts playing really poorly and he just flames out, and it doesn't really feel like he's cooking anymore. The whole let Russ cook thing. He's not really cooking.
Yeah, just an absolute disaster.
It was a disaster.
And then Rodgers was poor, but I think you can excuse that because he had been pretty fine for the weeks prior, but he was just poor against Seattle.
Yeah.
Speaking of poor, Derek Carr, what are you doing, big dog?
Oh boy, Deshaun Jackson, what are you doing? That's my. If the Rams took any semblance of a win this week, it was Deshaun Jackson doing that.
That's touch. That is a perfectly thrown ball by Carr. The one throw that Carr had that was like gnarly.
Yeah, that was a fantastic throw. He makes the catch. Oh no, drops it.
And then,
I love it. I love it.
He had a touchdown. If he runs in a straight line,
all he has to do is run. Well,
yes.
I just love that so much. Like how he left the Rams because it was just such a selfish move. It was so selfish when he forced his way out. And his first play, his first catch with the Raiders, he does that. Like he tries to make a little juke move around the air. Like Casper the Ghost was there or something. Deshaun Jackson was seeing ghosts. Deshaun Jackson was absolutely seeing ghosts.
Okay, so
drops the ball when he gets hit, doesn't bother to protect it.
Yeah, okay. So if we are making a resume, or not a resume, a job description for NFL wide receivers, first off, run. Second off, use your hands. Sammy Watkins and Deshaun Jackson, you should not have jobs.
You are fired.
You're fired. You're fired. I need to watch the Cat in the Hat movie again.
Yeah,
the live action one with Alec Baldwin and I don't know
Mike
who else
Myers.
is it. Yeah.
That was funny. Yeah.
Oh,
that movie.
Absolutely.
That movie radiates chaos, just like the NFL has as of late.
Just like our thumbnail. Big shout out to Henry for the thumbnail. So, let's find another game with chaos. Hit me over it. Hit me.
I'm jumping into Monday night. Night. We're jumping right in. Yeah. Everyone is saying that this is OBJ's fault. There's all the memes going on to OBJ. Rams fans, I agree with you. You are calling for Raheem Morris's head. This was not a game where any one person was at fault. I'm not going to blame OBJ.
But you have to blame Baker. Blame Baker. That's all you got to do. Blame Baker.
Yeah, sure. OBJ didn't really do that much in this game. This was because the Rams had the absolute heartbreaker injury. The day of OBJ signing, Robert Woods goes down with an ACL tear. That is painful. And suddenly OBJ goes from, he's just another luxury. He's another wide receiver. The Rams are already stacked enough. And then they lose Robert Woods to an ACL tear. And now you kind of realize, OBJ is a lot more important to this offense than he first was thought to be. Now, with all of this happening so late into the week, it was really, really, really tough for them to kind of get like the synergy that they needed. Like OBJ had to be wide receiver 2. He wasn't really wide receiver 2. I would say it was more Van Jefferson in that game.
Yeah, I will say that this gives me big Steelers vibes, that when you have an injury like that, when you have any sort of issue that comes up so late in the week, it throws things into chaos.
It does.
But
here's what
we
I'll
can
say.
rank these later, but
here's what I'll say.
Yeah, go ahead.
This, however, despite the injury, what's that meme?
It is
that
OBJ Senior or OBJ? Really?
OBJ
Odell
Senior.
Okay, that was one of the dumbest things that's ever come out of my mouth.
Odell Beckham Senior.
Okay. Continue.
Anywho. Despite the injury, despite the chaos that happened with the Rams this last week, none of it is an excuse to go out there and put together just the most disappointing, effortless performance I've ever seen. Ever. It was horrible. There was not... You can't blame OBJ. I know Splash is like spamming the OBJ memes right now.
Yes, because
the first interception, what is Stafford doing? Like, was it too foggy out there, or what's he looking at? He overthrew him by a mile. What is... Jeez. I'm still just... I'm so disgusted by it. I really am. And it's like... I'm at a loss for words, like you can tell. There was a shocking match on the sideline, by the way, between Raheem Morris and Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey was not happy. He understood, I think, that he made a mistake earlier in the drive. But I think, when it gets to the point that this guy is mad at your defense, send the NFT. I saw the NFT on the bottom. There was an OBJ NFT that I saw.
Yeah, when I get to it, you can throw it up.
Anyway,
I need to get out of this picture.
It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting that Raheem Morris would not leave Jalen Ramsey.
In a moment, I guess. I don't know what's... Okay.
Why would you not put Ramsey one-on-one with Debo the whole night? Why is David Long Jr., who has been, aside from a week 1 interception, the worst cornerback on the team so far, I'd say? Why is he... Why in the world is this dude... That's funny. Why in the world...
That was made before last night, too.
It was before last night. Van Jefferson was not great. Cooper Kupp dropped passes on 3rd down. That's how you know the team was just mentally out of it. Tyler Higbee was dropping passes on third down. I mean, there's just no effort. They didn't care last night. I understand they've been met with like a lot of things, crazy things that happen throughout the week. They have to adjust to this new system, a new guy coming in and having to learn the offense really quick. But I mean, just they didn't want to win. I didn't sense the energy from anyone on the team. Sean McVay was brain dead, I'd say, on fourth down and goal, just for one moment. I'd say he was brain dead on like 4th down and I forget how many yards it was to go, but he decides to fake
from inside
4th and 8. If you're gonna go for it, why would you fake it?
I gotta find the Peyton. I've got to find. Oh my! Peyton had a spaz attack on the Manning cast. Holy Christmas! I don't want to get demonetized, so I can't pull it directly from YouTube. I think House of Highlights or Highlight Heaven, one of them. Oh my goodness! Peyton was about to. If Peyton had objects in his hands when he was doing the show last night, he would have thrown things when he saw Johnny Hecker.
I should have watched the Manning cast. I honestly should have watched the Manning cast because it would have given me something to smile about. Because the Rams gave me nothing to smile about.
Oh,
it was horrible.
It was an absolute disaster.
It was like forget that it was against San Francisco. Just when you have
what a disgusting decision. You just take the points there. You take the points. If it was 4th and 2, why don't you have Stafford out there? What's the point in the fake field goal?
Like what? What are you doing?
Look,
I've complained enough about Raheem Morris.
All respect in the world to Johnny Hecker. What are you doing in that situation? If I'm Johnny Hecker,
it's not Johnny Hecker's fault.
Well, I know, but if I'm Johnny Hecker It, have you seen the clip with Pat McAfee pointing out Troy Polamalu in the C gap?
I think so.
Okay, so I would have 1,000 million, 100,000 bazillion percent said, we are kicking. We are kicking. If Sean McVay had the audacity to call a fake field goal there, what do you gain to benefit? What is your benefit there? If you get a first down, okay,
Against a
cool.
team that's seen it, by the way. Against, like I said, forget against, no. This is a team that's seen this time and time again, and you're just
a disaster.
It's just no effort from anybody.
Wow, Chris didn't like the Rivers spot.
Damn, he didn't like.
I didn't. I watched it on the regular broadcast. I did see Phil Mickelson was on. I thought Phil spot
was on, and Al Michaels I think was on it.
Yeah, and Phil had a beautiful line. There's a curse with this show, right?
Yes.
And then he's like, "Oh yeah, that's why I'm not going to play this weekend." It was beautiful.
That was funny.
I don't know how that affected Josh. How did the Bills lose to the Jags?
Oh, jeez. The Manning cast curse is very real. It's very real. But the last point I'm going to make for the Rams, this is the perfect time for you to have your bye week. Refocus. Learn from the film. Learn what you can from it. Don't burn it. Learn from it. And understand that now is the time for you to really start integrating OBJ into this offense. This is not life or death yet for the Rams. It was a terrible loss, don't get me wrong.
Back-to-back losses now.
Yeah, back-to-back on primetime. They don't play primetime again until like later on in the season, I think. So
I don't even think the Baltimore game's in primetime. That's just a 1:00 game.
No, I think it's a 1:00 game. I think their next primetime is Monday night against Arizona, I want to say.
That's gonna be fun.
That'll be spicy as long as the Rams just get their crap together. You have an extra week off to do this after 2 disgusting losses. These are fixable mistakes. Fix them. There is time, but you need to do it ASAP. They can't lose to the 49ers again this year. They just can't.
No, you can't. Okay. So I have a question for you. I want you to rank these 3 teams. These are 3 teams that have lost 2 of the last 3 weeks. But they're good teams. They're good teams. Everyone thinks of them as good teams. They're probably top 10 in your power rankings. And if they're not, they just fell out of your top 10. Which team do you think should be panicking the most? And which team do you think just hold the line? Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Los Angeles Rams, Baltimore Ravens. Rank them on most panic to least panic.
That's a good question. That's a really good question. And I think the Rams and Buccaneers, no offense, Splash, but I think they're both better than the Ravens. So I feel like those two I'm not saying that the Ravens need to panic, but I might rank them last out of that list only because like it really feels like the Rams and Bucs they need to panic the least. I feel like there's still what they did, they've got a lot to learn from. And I only have the perspective of the Rams, like as a Rams fan, but I know that there were also a lot of unforced errors. I would say, like some of the mistakes that Stafford was making. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the drops too as well. There were some defensive penalties. Like there was a third down and 2. There was a 3rd down and 2 where they had a chance to get off the field. They stopped the running back behind the line of scrimmage, but Terrell Lewis jumped, so that's a 1st down given up.
So I guess from my perspective as a Ravens fan, this is what I'm thinking here. So Chris says Ravens, Rams, Bucs. I think there's an argument for all 3 of them to be on top because, say, with Tampa, without Antonio Brown, it's not the same offense. With all the injuries in the secondary, it's not the same defense. They're not forcing pressure. Their linebackers. Levante David's been fine. Devin White hasn't been very good. Again, the pressure hasn't been there. The secondary play hasn't been there. Winfield's been fine, but he hasn't played enough snaps to be like all pro or anything. The Rams have had 2 disaster losses in a row. Stafford's not playing well. The offensive line has deteriorated, it seems. Other than Whitworth, he's been fine. And you had the huge injury to Robert Woods, and you have to integrate Odell there. And that's a huge injury. Like that is
it's like when Cooper Kupp got hurt during the Super Bowl run.
Exactly.
Except I'd say it's arguably worse because Robert Woods is one of the best blocking wide receivers in the league. Like he's everywhere. The dude's everywhere, and he's so reliable. And
yeah, absolutely. And here's my argument against the Ravens not being number one. The Ravens don't have expectations this year. Other teams do. The Rams, this is a Super Bowl or bust year. The Bucs, this is a Super Bowl or bust year. If you are saying this is a Super Bowl or bust year for the Ravens, I don't know. I don't have words for you, because this is a team that, yes, they should have beaten the Dolphins. I agree with you. But at the end of the day, this is a team with very different expectations and a very different timetable. The Ravens are a 2022 team based on all the injuries they've had. The starting left tackle, starting right tackle, starting running back, and number 2 corner are currently on IR. You're going to be okay next year. This year, at this point, I think it's free money. At this point, it is house money for that the Ravens are 6-3. It is house money that they control their destiny for the playoffs. It's house money that if they beat Chicago, Cincinnati, and then split with Pittsburgh, split with Cleveland, they have about a 98% chance of making the playoffs, according to 538. Baltimore is not going to win the Super Bowl this year. I don't think they usually win the Super Bowl anyways, but I am confident they are not in my Super Bowl tiers. Every team ahead of the Ravens can win the Super Bowl plus the Chiefs. So my top 10, Ravens at 9, Chiefs at 10. Top 8, they can win the Super Bowl. I'm not surprised. If the Ravens win the Super Bowl, I would be shocked. And then the Chiefs, they can win the Super Bowl. And Chris, the Rams are all in. They don't have draft picks. The Bucs are all in.
The Rams, their window, I think the Rams have like a 2-3 year window.
Yeah.
When contracts for guys like Aaron Donald, Robert Woods, Jalen Ramsey, when all those contracts that they have start running, because look at it this way: if you're the Rams, next year, Cam Akers is going to be back for one thing. Matthew Stafford will still be here. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, they will all still be here.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as the Rams they are so good at hitting on the late round draft picks. If they can figure things out around those players, which is they're already stacked enough, the window's open, in my opinion.
Right.
I think that they are once you start getting to the point where those contracts start to run out, I think that's when you run into the window's closing territory. But if the Rams are able, and we've seen Les Snead do some crazy things, I think he might be able to figure out a way to extend both Von Miller and OBJ. If he can do that, the window's open for the next 2-3 years, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think that's the real conversation here is you have to adjust your expectations with teams, whether it comes from watching them play or realizing, well, they don't have this piece, they don't have this piece, they don't have this piece. This is a reason why I would pump the brakes on Baltimore. This is not the year they were supposed to win. If you are shocked that they got curb stomped by the Bengals, reevaluate. If you're shocked they lost to Miami, I agree, but reevaluate. They lost to the Raiders, reevaluate. This is a poor roster with all the injuries they've had. This is a terrible roster. Outside of the top 6 players on the team are good players, and then after that it's a whole lot of average and a whole lot of bad. At this point, Lamar is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Mark Andrews is one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Calais Campbell is having a whale of a season. Justin Tucker is the best kicker in the NFL. And then Rashad Bateman. I trust 5 members of the Ravens right now to be even competent. The other 48, house money. Patrick Queen has a good week. Awesome. Bynes has a great week. Awesome. Patrick McCarry plays at an all-pro level for 3 weeks. Awesome. Bozeman. Awesome. Hollywood Brown has 100 yards and a touchdown. Awesome. Whatever you get out of the running back. Awesome. So I think with Baltimore, you have to adjust your expectations. And did I think we could win the Super Bowl coming into the season with everyone healthy? No, but that was because of the Chiefs, right? If everyone was healthy right now, and we were 6-4 or 6-3, I would say, okay, yeah, Baltimore's not out of it yet. I wouldn't say I'm going to say they're not out of it because I never thought they were in it. I have not had the Ravens in my Super Bowl tier all season. People have put them in the top 5 in their power rankings, even higher than that. It's just no. They were 5-1 at one point, top seed in the AFC. It didn't matter. Lamar Jackson is the only saving grace from this team being a pretty bad team. And when Lamar has one of his worst games this season, perhaps his worst game, his worst game all season, that's when you say, oh, this team actually sucks balls. Yes, I have to watch this. I have to watch it several times because I use Game Pass. But yeah, the defense has allowed a bazillion passing yards. The offense can't run the ball half the time unless it's Lamar Jackson. Marquise Brown, I want to like Marquise Brown. He's been really good this season, but he just kills you with a drop here, a drop there. Even if it doesn't count as an official drop, it kills you.
Feels like when a team has like that one like really key wide receiver, if they make a big drop, like it kills the team.
Yeah, and so again, I think 6-53, the Ravens have to reevaluate. The top 5, there's not many teams that are going to have a core like Lamar, star pass catcher, 2-star pass catchers. I think Rashad Bateman is on the precipice of being something really special. A star interior presence like Campbell's been, and a superstar kicker. There are not many teams like the Rams have a better top 5. If you have an offensive lineman in there, like Dallas, say, with Smith and Martin, there are some teams with better top 5s, but Baltimore is a pretty good top 5 players. Beyond that, they're not a very good roster. So I think that's my only reason why I'm not panicking with the Ravens, because I'm not invested enough to panic. The Bucs, you have legitimate Super Bowl aspirations. The Rams, you have legitimate Super Bowl aspirations. And we're asking this question about 3 top 10 teams. We're not asking this question about the Jets, right? Are you panicking about the Jets? Who cares?
Who cares
about your answer? You care about the Ravens because they're probably in your top 12 in your power rankings. You care about the Rams, and you care about the Bucs. So before we move on, I have a Jets fun fact for all of you. The New York Jets have allowed 175 points on defense in the last 4 weeks. They got mollywopped by the Patriots. Second time I've used that today. They beat the Bengals, allowed 31 points, and they've allowed 40 plus to the Clots and Bills. 45, I think, in both weeks. 175 points in 4 games. The 2000 Ravens, yeah, great job. The 2000 Ravens played 20 games. They allowed 167 points on defense the entire year, plus the playoffs. They allowed 165 in the regular season, and they allowed, I think, 23 in the playoffs. So 188 total. Then you take out the 3 defensive and special teams touchdowns, like the Giant that took the kickoff back in the Super Bowl. You take the 3 special teams and defensive touchdowns, 167 points in 20 games. That's under 9 a game. The Jets have allowed 175 in 4 weeks. They have a defensive head coach. The defense was supposed to be the strength of their team, and they've played Mac Jones, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Carson Wentz. Thanks for playing.
All right, so before we move on from the NFL, playoff standings as they stand. The Colts, or not the Colts, Colts, Jesus. The Titans and the Packers are the 1 seeds. The wild card round, it would be Chargers at Bills, Patriots at Ravens, Steelers at Chiefs. In the NFC, it's the Panthers at Cardinals, Saints at Cowboys, Rams at Bucs.
That would be a fun game.
I mean, the playoffs still look kind of spicy right now, even with all those crazy losses. I mean,
at 12 out of 16 teams in the AFC are above 500 right now.
It's ridiculous. It's so tight.
Yeah,
it's like with
every
so much
team in
like
the AFC North has like a 20%
too.
chance of winning the division.
I hate it, but I love it how there's so much inconsistency, because like one team looks like they're a contender one week and then the next they just look terrible, or vice versa. So,
like I said, every team has a bad loss. The 30 teams have been blown out once, and then the Vikings lost to Cooper Rush, and the Bills lost to. How do you lose to Jacksonville?
How do you lose to the Jaguars? I understand losing to Trevor Lawrence, baby, but the Jaguars?
Like, how do you go down to Jacksonville and score 6 points? How do you do that? How do you let Josh Allen like just drop his nuts on every part of your existence? Like, what is that? I don't understand the Bills. I have my reservations. I think they're okay. Let me keep in mind there are very few teams that even get to this point. I think they're the phoniest, really, really, really good team I think I've ever seen. Does that make sense? Like they have
Yeah.
absolutely just smacked some teams. But who have they smacked? Washington, not very
The
good.
Jets
Jets, not very good. Dolphins, not
twice,
very
I
good.
should say.
Yeah, Dolphins twice, not very
Jets twice, I mean.
good. Have they played the Jets twice?
Yeah, this week. They beat them
Did they play?
45-17, and then there was another time when they won 44-0, I think it was.
I think that was Miami. They smacked Miami twice.
Oh, it
They
was Miami. You're
smacked
right.
Houston.
You're right.
Like they have like 5 wins by like 40, but they're against the worst teams in the league. But then they smack the Chiefs, but they lose to Pittsburgh and they lose to Jackson. I don't know. I don't know what to make of the Bills. I think they are one of the dumbest teams in the NFL. I think the Titans have like gotten out of that they're no longer dumb. They're just a good team. Like there's no like the week to week variance, yes, because it's the NFL, but the Bills went from being a Division 3 team at Jacksonville. That's how bad the Jags are. And then against the Jets, who have a sturdy defense. They have talented players. Josh Allen had 8 big time throws. Do you know how, Jack? I have a trivia question for you.
Oh boy.
How many quarterbacks this season have 8 big time throws in a game?
2.
1. Josh Allen. Yes, or Sunday. That's it. Lamar Jackson had 6 in a game. Kyler had 6 in a game. That's it. 8 doesn't happen. It's Mahomes, that one game he had against Pittsburgh that he had 6 touch. It is very rare to see 8. Aaron Rodgers, you have to go back like 5 years. So that's my last point.
I was close enough. Okay.
Oh.
Do we
Patriots
move in?
are for real though.
All right. Do we move into our tier list now?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think it's time. We're gonna end this on a lighter note. We mentioned this briefly last week, and I've made it a reality. We're gonna be tier listing some of our favorite theme music in sports. So we've got a little bit of everything here. We've got some of the old songs. We got some of the new ones. We got soccer. We got motorsports. Even it's gonna be fun. So
yeah. Do you have the clips of the audio?
I don't.
Okay, because I don't know some of them.
I could pull some audio up, but it would probably be demonetized. So,
oh, good. That's a good point. Maybe I can like play it on my phone and have it go through my headset rather than it being integrated into the video.
Would that work?
We can try. Yeah, I think so.
Try it.
Okay, so which one do we want to start with?
We'll just go in order. So Thursday Night Football, the current one.
Thursday Night Football theme. I don't want ads here.
I think you're looking also for the 2000s. I could look this up too, honestly.
Okay.
I think that might
work. So we have that one's
Here we go.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, I've got an ad first, so just give me a moment. But I believe they brought this back. This is old but new. This is one of the songs that Fox brought back because they made a rare good decision.
All right, shoot. It's a good one. Maybe we can cut it.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I'm gonna say S tier.
Yeah.
Like that one gets me amped up to watch.
I actually don't know if they use it anymore. I'm not 100% sure on it, but I
don't remember hearing it Thursday, but I was on the phone for a little bit of that. So I'm not sure.
I think S tier is fair.
Is it this one?
That's the CBS one. I don't have the CBS one on that list.
Okay, I do like the CBS one.
The CBS one isn't bad. Yeah, the NBC one, I should say. Here's the NBC one. This is a bop.
Wait a minute. Why am I not recognizing this? When I think of Sunday night, I think of Carrie Underwood.
That was NBC's Thursday night. That's what this is.
Oh. Like this one.
Yeah, that one's S tier. That one's S tier.
Yeah, that one's S tier. I don't know if it's on your list, but
maybe S plus.
Shout out to Carrie Underwood. We're good. Nope. There's only 2 that I don't even know if you have it, but there are only 2 that I would put in S plus.
Okay, that's fair.
Next.
Well, we mentioned old Thursday night NBC. Where do you want? I'm gonna go A tier for that one. That's not bad, but
yeah,
it's not terrible.
So this one. Right. Oh, that's the one you.
That's the S tier one. There's two. We
Okay.
have 2 Thursday nights. Monday night.
Okay.
I think everybody knows that one's S tier.
Let me just play a snippet of it. Oh, if I can.
It's a bop. It's a bop.
I think for the sake of this, it has to be A tier because we don't want to have like a million of them in S tier.
We have S and we have S plus. So
that's true, but I think we need to make it in some sort of a bell curve.
That's all right.
This is a bop.
Oh yeah,
Are you ready for some football?
Are you ready for some football? I was listening to that like nonstop before.
Absolutely. Okay. Next.
Fox.
Is that
just a generic Fox?
Is it this one? Because I think I've used this on Instagram before. Saved. Oh wait, no. I think. Wait a minute. No. That's different. I didn't remember which one it was saved. Okay, so Fox is not that. Although this is the S tier. This S plus tier.
100%. These next two, in my opinion, honestly.
Okay. Fox football theme. Oh, that's an ad.
That's an ad.
This one of the comments. This is probably the most American song you could ever hear. Okay, I'm gonna say A tier.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go A tier for this one. It's not. It's like it's iconic as hell. Let's be real. Like Fox is using this in like other sports too.
It's just you have to pick the best. All right, here we go.
S tier.
Like this gets me so hyped to watch Joe Flacco play against the Brady era Patriots.
I'm so angry the Rams never play on CBS. They played on CBS once last year, and like their graphics.
Play on CBS when they play Baltimore. Is that game on Fox?
I think it's on Fox because it's a road game for the Rams. If it's a home afternoon game for the Rams and they play it against an AFC team, then it's on CBS.
Interesting.
Unless it gets flexed.
Let's get. Beautiful. Okay.
Banger. All right, we're moving on to hockey here. First of all, NHL on ESPN.
All right, let's. I can smell Barry Melrose. And not even just the essence of Barry Melrose.
This is S tier.
S tier.
S tier. ESPN made the absolute best decision to bring that back. Like they didn't even try to think of anything else. They were immediately like, "Oh yeah, the old theme's back." So there you go. We have the NHL on TNT next. Here, let me play a little blurb of that. I don't think it's bad, honestly.
I haven't heard it. I think that sounds solid. But I would put it in the B, or maybe I have not heard.
I'd go A tier for it, but I've heard it like multiple times before. I think B is a fair balance for us.
Okay,
so we'll go B tier.
Is that NBC?
That is NHL on NBC. Let me find that really quick. We're searching up a lot of these like as we go. So, but this is the old theme. They no longer use it because the NHL is no longer on NBC.
I think it's good. Like I think it's none of these so far are bad. I'll say that none of them are bad. I think
something I need to clear up is that like I didn't do anything below B tier because like we just love them all. I'd say
solid. At least the borderline, I think solid. This is probably between A and B for me.
Yeah, I would say I'm going to put it on A because I enjoy it. But this is one of the rare cases where the actual like theme song from the TV was in one of the video games. So I was hearing this like all the time when I was playing NHL, like point. 18, 19.
Also, question for the comment section. Yes or no, will we get demonetized? Sound off.
I can't wait. This is a fun one. NHL on Fox. This is an old one because now it's Bally Sports, so they don't use this
anymore.
Didn't
they have the puck light thingy?
Yeah, it's the glow
Glowing
puck.
puck?
Yes, the glow puck was really fun. So
let's inject some 90s into this.
This goes hard. This goes really
Sounds
hard.
like an anime theme song.
They used to have like little animated robots on the screen.
I could go for that. That's S-A-S-A.
I'm going S. That was a banger.
Right.
That's always been a banger. Okay.
All right.
Now, Bally Sports is an interesting one because they pretty much use the same theme song for everything.
Uh-huh.
But I've been on board with it since I first heard it. So let me play it really fast.
Well, I don't.
I want to like it more. I'll say that.
I don't like it as much as the other ones. I think it gives me like 105 Braves playing against the Mets. DeGrom's pitching. We're about to lose vibes. Ironically, as I'm a fan of the World Series champion Atlanta Braves, I don't know. I don't love it. I would go B tier.
I'm gonna put it. I would go A, honestly, but we'll put it on B just for the sake of keeping things interesting. This next one I have not heard too frequently, actually. I don't actually know where I can find a good rip
NBA
of this
on
song.
ESPN
Yes.
NBA music? Okay, I gotcha.
You got me? Okay.
Yeah.
That's got a lot of energy to it.
Yeah, I do. I would say A tier. It gives me vibes that the Cavs are about to get dunked on by Golden State.
Okay.
Or that friggin' what's his name?
We said A tier, right?
Mark Jackson. Yeah, I would go A tier.
Okay.
All right, I got the TNT, yes.
Get the TNT one. I'll get the NASCAR ones. That's not bad.
I think it needs to get into the action quicker.
Yeah, I think it does too. There it is.
If it got into the action a little bit faster, I would say B tier for this. I don't think it's bad. It's just
it's not bad. I think Fox actually tried a different NHL song like right before they became Bally Sports, and like it was good, but it took forever to get to the action. So, this next few, yes, I watch NASCAR. You can make fun of me for that if you want, but I enjoy a good race.
All right, you're gonna have to play these because I don't know.
Yeah, I will find this one. Hopefully, this
I can get the Champions League. Oh, yes.
It's very NASCAR-esque, I'll say.
Yeah,
like they go.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it
either.
I think it could go A tier. I think that like if I was a NASCAR fan, if I were a NASCAR fan, I think I would like it a lot. It's kind of like the NHL ones. I think I was a tad bit lower on because I'm not a humongous as I'm wearing a hockey sweater. But
well, you're wearing a Kaprizov jersey. I don't know if that counts as a hockey sweater, but let me find the NBC. The NBC one I like a lot more. I wish I put the IndyCar one on here too. By the way, I think the IndyCar one.
I get vibe hard. To it. I think it's okay.
I'd put B or A tier probably. I like it better than Fox though. I'll say, but
good point.
We'll do A tier. Why not? Okay, this is my hot take. Is my hot take. You are probably going to crush me for this one. I genuinely do not care. Formula One. Hold up, that's an ad.
Okay.
If you have not heard this before, thank me later.
I'm preparing my ears.
Thank me later. It like takes a little bit of time, but it's like good through all the way through.
Okay.
Got the engine going in there.
I could vibe to that in like a video game. Absolutely.
Listen, I heard this for the first time. I heard this for the first time. I was addicted, and I still am. This is S+ on my list. I'm gonna
go S. I would go S.
You can go S if you want. I'm putting that S+.
Okay, fair. All right, let's hear the MLS.
MLS. I need to find this one. They changed theirs up in 2020, and it was they use it on ESPN. Fox uses a different one, but oops, that's the wrong. What would you say is your favorite? I would say in the whole list so far.
Oh, favorite out of everything is this.
Yeah, definitely.
That one's S plus plus. I don't care.
That's a banger every time. Okay, here's MLS. It takes a while, actually. It used to be like more orchestral, but they changed it for their 25th anniversary. I think it's better.
It's okay.
It gets me more hyped about soccer than I should be.
Valid.
I'll probably B tier this one, honestly.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. All right, and then the piece de resistance.
I don't even.
Here.
You have it up?
Yeah.
Didn't even have to ask. That's S plus.
The champion.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff.
I hate watching it when I watch PSG, but in other non-PSG situations,
okay,
slaps.
I can't. Apparently, the MLB on Fox theme has been changed up a couple times. I'm not even sure which one's accurate.
Oh, yep. S plus, S. Yep.
You're an S plus MLB Fox?
Inject it into my veins. Yes, sir.
It's not bad.
Yes.
It's not bad. I think it's one of Fox's better songs.
It gives me like 2006 Maglio Ordonez vibes. I don't think we've talked about it. That's like my coming to Jesus moment in sports is Maglio Ordonez whacking a grand slam or whacking a 3-run homer off Houston Street.
Okay.
October 14th, 2016 or 2006.
The last one, I think we both. I'm pretty. I don't know how much you watch the Olympics, but
I would like to. I would watch it more if it wasn't bloody 2 a.m. Nope, that's Nad. I think it has to be S tier.
Yeah, has to be S tier. 100%.
Has to be S tier.
So our opinions are a little bit different, but this is pretty much our tier list.
Okay, first off, this is S plus plus.
He's got to get that in there every time.
Just to clarify, that's S plus plus. Chris Berman is the best thing about the NFL. All right, continue.
Yeah, he's doing NHL stuff too, I think too. So there you go. That's a perk of the NHL being on ESPN. Right? Obviously, I think the list would be a little bit different if we both had like our individual say over things, but this is kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, there you go. Those are what we think of sports themed music, but they're all good. I will say they're all pretty good. Can't say I hate any of them.
We haven't done it other than. Is that only our second tier list we've done? Because we did the reverse jerseys.
We did the reverse retro, and I don't remember doing another one, so we'll try to do a more tier list soon for sure.
Because we did thumbs up, thumbs down on the NBA jerseys.
Yeah, we did.
So great stuff. Great show. So,
good show indeed. So.
Big shout out to the World Series champion Atlanta Braves. I don't. Is it ever going to set in?
In a little bit, it'll set.
When did you
it
stop
might not
saying,
actually. So the MLB
when did you
looks
stop
like
saying like World Series champion Dodgers or Stanley Cup champion Kings? Like when did you actively stop?
When they really got into the depth of the season, because I think when I think more closer to playoff time, I would say that as well, because like they open the season, you have like the first home game where they raise the banner and everything, like they're
I need to
passing
be in
the Stanley Cup around.
It
was tougher with the
Arizona.
Dodgers. It was tougher with the Dodgers because like there was like it was called reopening night is what they did, because their opening night was limited capacity at the stadium, and then there was like
that's right.
until like I think June they played with limited capacity, and then they had reopening night where they allowed full capacity and the place went crazy. So I mean,
yeah,
and like there's like when I went there was limited capacity, but like I think there were slightly more people allowed in there, and there were like fully vaccinated
Did you go to the Nacho game?
sections. I did not go to the Nacho game though.
Okay.
But
You
it's just
went to the game around
literally
then, right?
everyone is wearing like World Series champions gear. Like they have like big flag in the outfield saying 2020 champions. Like it goes on for a while. The hype about the teams is real. So
yeah. Okay. Well, I'm
agreed,
just
Henry.
really proud of
Agreed.
really proud of my bravos.
You're allowed to be. You're allowed to
Yes.
be. I won't.
So
I won't stop your
any
excitement.
other points we want to touch on?
Kings are on a 7-game, or they were on a 7-game win streak, but they lost to Winnipeg. But no,
both my Red Wings and Cavs and Ravens lost the last time they played, so that sucks. Boise State basketball lost to UC Irvine the other night. Not pleased with that. Any Arizona football got a win 2 weeks ago. Then they lost to Utah. Is it Utah? They lost Saturday. Maybe it was Colorado. I think it was Colorado. The Ravens play Da Bears in Chicago on Sunday. The Rams have a bye. I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hammer that like button. You can't ring the ring-a-ding-ding to Le'Veon Bell anymore because Le'Veon Bell is not on the Ravens.
Here's what I'll say. You can ring the free agent Le'Veon Bell.
Hallelujah.
He's happy about that if you can't tell.
I'm going to give you a note here. So on February 26th, 2019, I wrote this headline.
Jets free agency, do not answer the doorbell.
I wrote that on February 26th, 2019. The Jets were idiots, signed Le'Veon Bell, and he's been a disaster for 3 years. So, Le'Veon Bell, I'm gonna talk to you for a moment, if I can get the right view. Le'Veon Bell, you had a phenomenal career with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You were awesome. I said you were Hall of Fame caliber. Honestly, if you had just played with Pittsburgh, I think I would vote you into the Hall of Fame. But, sir, you weren't good on the Jets. You weren't good on the Chiefs. And as much as I wanted you to be good on the Ravens, you weren't good on the Ravens. So thank you for playing with us. Thank you for rushing for 80 yards and a couple touchdowns. It was really cool to see you run for that touchdown against the Chargers. So thank you for your commitment to wearing number 17, even though it is an ugly jersey number for a running back. And it doesn't look great in Baltimore colors, but thank you for your contributions to our pathetic franchise. Okay.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you like the stream, subscribe to the channel, ring-a-ding-ding, that notification bell. We are producing a lot of content. We are doing shorts. Chandler had a banger short. I did an Otani short last night. Chris from the Fantasy Show, they're about to be on. He does some awesome shorts. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and even Snapchat. I think Henry's gotten that up and running. So big things everywhere you look. Christmas is around the corner. Thanksgiving is in 9 days.
Takes are on the way on the U Stadium.
Takes are on the way. Thanksgiving is in 9 days.
My birthday is in like 6 days, I think, actually. Wow. So that's fun.
That's exciting. Mine's in like 3 months. Fun.
All right.
Yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, do the things. We appreciate you, and we will see you next episode.
We didn't do Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald trades with knives.
There you go.